I've spent an insane amount of time playing cornerback career mode on Madden 25, and after 8 seasons, I've built up Nick Sabaka Jr. to a 99 overall, catching over 230 interceptions, including 45 pick sixes and forcing 14 fumbles. But year after year, I've set the goal of catching 40 interceptions in a single season and winning an MVP award, and every year I've just barely fallen short. My comment sections have been telling me to just make the quarters longer than 5 minutes, but to me that would just be giving up. This is the video where I'm finally going to accomplish both of those goals, and to make me truly lock in, if I miss either of them, I'll be giving away $100 to one random person who likes and comments on this video. Let's go ahead and get right into season 9 of this legendary career. I will not rest until we get Nick his MVP award, and no boys, I am not upping the quarter length. That would be cheating. We're going to do this the right way by baiting up a million streak routes, and Nick is going to get his first pick of the season against Marvin Harrison. That's how we crack it open, and we're going to have to do that just about every quarter if we want to meet Nick's goals. I'm going to be real boys, at this point, I don't care about winning. I just care about getting Nick's stats, and how about that? We're going to get a sack. Not something we've seen a lot from the boy. It just feels like he is sharp to come out in this season, and look at this beautiful coverage. Of course, they're going to give me a stupid illegal contact penalty. Nick is not going to let these receivers have an inch this season. No more getting beat for touchdowns. As right when I say that, we're sitting in the cover 2, and Marvin Harrison almost snuck behind us, but the throw's not quite on target. So defense is getting off to a really nice start in this game, and looks like Nick's going to get tried again before halftime. He will go up for it, but not so hot with those contested catches. We cannot be dropping too many picks if we want to get to 40 on the year, and they're going to try Nick again. Similar situation, and once again it falls out of his hands. Hopefully in his old age, Nick hasn't developed arthritis in his normally perfect hands. Let's make those the only 2 drops of the season right there. At this point, we're already pretty far in the game. We're going to have to find a way to make some more plays, and I was hoping they'd try us there. Witherspoon's going to get the pick instead, though. He was really good last season. And our offense has not done a whole lot of anything in this game. With 2.5 minutes left, we're still clinging to this small lead. Somebody just needs to make one more play. This defense has been so good in stopping the Cardinals short on our side of the field so far. I think we're going to have to get aggressive here, though. Nick is going to trail far behind the receiver, and that'll work out perfectly. I was going to say, we cannot leave this game with only 1 pick with what we want to accomplish. And I'm secretly hoping offense doesn't kill the entire clock. Won't get my wish there, but that's okay. A defensive struggle in game 1. And Nick did his thing. Not an exceptional game, but the sack was kind of fun. We are unfortunately going to have a rain game in week 2, which is probably not going to be the best for grabbing picks. Hopefully we can get some tackles though. With the way New York runs their offense, we might have to be creative with getting picks, and we almost baited one up there. I saw that route just a half second late. Gotta get off the field on 3rd down here. I'm just sending the blitz for Nick, and we are going to get the running back in the backfield for the tackle for loss. Already a much better tackling season than last year. And man, the Giants really do just love going under center. Not a ton of the teams in the NFL do this on this game. And their response to Nick seems to be to just run the ball down our throats, which hasn't really worked great so far anyways. We are finally going to get some passing out of the Giants here right before halftime, and we are going to lurk up the flat routes and get the pick. It is going to be kind of tricky to take this to the crib. Nick's going to have to outrun this receiver, and he just barely will be able to do it. First pick 6 of the season always feels good. And we're going to get another shot against the 2-minute drill. Giants have a 3rd down, and Nick's guy is running a corner route. I was not expecting the quarterback to throw that, and I don't even know if Nick affected that. I think that was just a drop. I really didn't play that perfectly. Next time I see that route, I'm going to pick it off, and we're going to get pretty much the exact same thing here, just out of a better formation, and this time we got it. Can we crib this too? Didn't really have time to set up the angle, and we will eventually get caught from behind, but that was a satisfying one. And Nick continues to look sharp. And a 21-point lead is right where we want to be. This is where we have the biggest games. Let's see if we can keep up the momentum down here on the goal line, as Nick is guarding the flat route, trying to bait that up, but the quarterback just gets sacked. That would have been a perfect opportunity for another pick 6. For some reason, New York has just been stubbornly sticking to this run game though. It is giving the chance to hone his run defense skills, which for some reason I feel like didn't really get tested at all last year, and we're going to be able to get another pick here. I think we were in a cover 2 there actually, which I didn't mean to be, but it works out perfectly. 3rd of the day, and we can't quite get around the big guy. I think that maybe Nick's lost like a half step at this point in his career, but still making those beautiful over the shoulder catches. So 5 picks through 2 games, not so bad. Considering the offensive styles we faced, I'd say we've done a pretty dang good job. Next up is the Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes still in the NFL. I don't know if he's as good as he was like 8 years ago. And next up we got the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. They're gonna start it out with a read option, and Nick lays down the hit, forcing his first fumble of the season. We can't pick it up, but that's nice. Nick has basically basically single-handedly destroyed the career of Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if he's gotten a single ring while Nick's been in the league. That's despite the Chiefs having pretty consistently 90 overall teams, and we're gonna sack Mahomes on third down. He's getting hit hard early in this game. Weirdly, the Chiefs have not passed the ball a lot so far, and Nick gets his second big hit of the day. Another third down stop would be pretty nice here. Let's see what we get. Looks like we're just gonna get some hitch routes. I should have baited that up more. We're gonna move to the cover 3 here, hoping for a deep ball, and that's exactly what we're gonna get. We baited it up perfectly. I've really figured out the deep ball baiting to where we don't give up touchdowns as much now, and Nick just makes Patrick Mahomes look like an idiot. So we got a clean 10-point lead, feeling pretty good about this one, and we kind of got beat on the hitch, but Nick knocks it out. Nick does do a great job of getting those sneaky knockouts, and a great play on the other side on third down. Looks like the Chiefs are gonna have to kick a field goal. Offense has definitely been quiet so far, but that's okay. I have a lot of faith in the defense right now. Another nice pass breakup from Nick there. And on 3rd and 8, we do appear to have our money formation. Let's see if we can bait something up. No, it's just a curl route, and we get a stupid illegal contact. Won't matter anyways. I actually hate these penalties so deeply. And the Chiefs are gonna have a chance to tie up the game as Xavier Worthy is just wide open. I don't know what our boy on the other side of the field was doing. And offense, of course, turns it over at the worst time possible. We are suddenly really on the ropes, and I don't know what happened over there, but the Chiefs are gonna get another touchdown. This is not good. But okay, offense finally does their thing, so we gotta hold it down for 1 minute. I feel like we gotta stay aggressive in this situation, and we're gonna get the perfect route. Please throw that, Mahomes, bro, come on. I thought that we had that perfectly baited. The good news is Kansas City's gonna have a third down. I'm actually gonna take a timeout here. Wouldn't mind giving our offense the ball back at this point, and let's see what we get on third down. The Chiefs will find an opening, and now I'm really regretting taking that timeout. Actually, that might have been stupid. The Chiefs are running some weird formations. I didn't even really know what to expect there, but Mahomes flushed from the pocket and sacked. We're gonna have a third and super long. Okay, just need to not give up anything stupid here. Come on. It looks like they're running routes well short of the sticks, and we will get the stop, and that will probably send us to overtime. Okay, so here we are, gotta clutch up. We've already got a third down here, kind of expecting a run. That's just what we're gonna get, but Nick, for some reason, just couldn't get off the block. That's frustrating. Here on 2nd and 2, we're gonna sit in the cover 2. Nick doesn't really have anything to cover, gonna try to just go over the middle, and oh no, they sliced us up, and this is gonna go to the bank. The Chiefs will win it. They honestly had like the perfect coverage beater there. There was nothing our safety could do. So Mahomes finally gets his against Nick. I honestly felt like it was a pretty good performance from our boy, but 1 pick, usually not enough to get us across. Hopefully we can bounce back today against the Rams. Nick's got to find a way to make some opportunities for himself though, and so far this season, the streak route has continued to be our cash cow. I've kind of started going back to my old strafing technique when I play man coverage, and it's been working really well at generating more picks, and this one is going to the bank, which should honestly pretty much put this game away just where we want to be once again, that 3-score lead where they just start throwing the ball a ton. Los Angeles has continued to go under center. We're seeing a little play action here. I'm going to try to really get underneath this crosser, and it works. Pick number 2 on the day. Nick has just continued to be so sharp and consistent. And while we haven't been putting up like the crazy stats I wanted to put up, this is the best season he could have so far. Somehow our offense has been mid enough that this game is not over yet, but that's okay. It just gives us more and more chances, and we'll take pick number 3. And man, I know y'all wanted to see Stringer Bell. I'm gonna do more with his career eventually, I think, but playing cornerback is just so deeply satisfying in a way that playing linebacker is not. No matter how many times I bait up an interception, I find it fun every single time, and once again Nick's teammate's gonna get a pick. I didn't show all of them, by the way, but Nick's teammates got like 4 picks in this game. Defense went absolutely nuts, and that'll do it. A dominating performance, as Nick with no tackles today, didn't even have an assist, but 3 picks. Should have him climbing up on that MVP watch. Monitoring our progress towards 40 picks through 4 games, Nick has 9, which would put him just barely slightly behind the pace that he needs. He's gonna have to have one just like monster game where he catches like 7 or 8 picks or something. Maybe that big game will be against the 0-4 Jets, who are post Aaron Rodgers at this point. Nice little hit from Nick there after having 0 tackles in the last game. The Jets are putting a pretty nice drive together. We're gonna sit in the cover 3 and see if we can fish for something, and it works out perfectly. Nick gets it in the back of the end zone, and low key, boys, this could be the longest pick return of Nick's career. This is definitely gonna go to the house. Looked like 106 or 107 yards. All those interception return yards should help with the MVP stats, I think. We continue to find ways to manufacture interceptions even when it's tough, and Nick actually got beat for like the first time this season there, but makes the receiver pay. And I think my single favorite time in these games is right before halftime. That's when these CPU teams just get crazy aggressive, and Nick is just barely going to catch up to a fade ball there. And hey, offense actually manages to get a touchdown before halftime. Things are looking pretty wrapped up late in the fourth quarter, but I still really would like to get another pick here. 3 is the magic number, and there we go. Just was waiting for that verts route again, and we give our offense great field position to not entirely kill the clock. The more reps Nick can get with a big lead in the fourth quarter, the better. These extra opportunities could be the difference between winning the MVP and not winning the MVP, and with the way Nick has just been playing perfectly, I think that the MVP is starting to feel kind of likely. This could be the year, boys. I have been wrong about that before, but it just feels like we're due. And offense is actually going to give us another chance here. They are almost tactically not killing the clock, but sadly we're going to drop another pick. Feels a little bit cheesy to just be getting those streak routes over and over again when we get a team like this, but as always, I am most definitely going to take my chances when I get them. And I feel like we really haven't seen a lot of variety with these teams' passing games, as this will finally do it. We get a 4th down stop. So it ends up being a great statistical game for Nick. The Jets were like kind of just hapless on offense, and the tackle numbers have been dropping, but the pick numbers have been rising, and that's what we're really here for. So game 6, we're taking on the New England Patriots, who have held on to Drake May all of this time, and looks like we're going to get some picks off him today. Nick starts out the first half, right? And they're going to pass from under center here. We've got that corner route, but oh man, they just dump it off. I thought we played that perfect. Looks like the Patriots might put a drive together after all, but going with Nick's favorite formation here, he's going to get the pick on the out route. Let's go. Can we take this back to the crib? Drake May's got a pretty good angle, and sadly we're not even going to get the offense into field goal range. I should have tried a juke or something. So after not a lot of action in the first quarter, Nick has an excellent end of the half to put us on pace for what we want. Since we did get those picks right at the end of the half though, this game is still really close, but with the Patriots threatening to score, Nick's gonna get his 3rd of the day. Let's go. This one will just stay in the end zone, but Nick is high stepping down the sideline. He's having another great day, and they could win it with this drive. We gotta try to bait something else up, and they got 1st and goal. Gotta try to make something happen, and I'm trying to bait up those flats, but they just go to the end zone, and that's a crazy catch. Nothing we can do about that. Let's see if offense can make it happen though, and they cannot. So it looks like we're probably gonna drop to 4-2 unless we can force a fumble. The good thing about this is we can just pin back our ears and go pass rush, and Nick will get a nice tackle for loss. And just based on the formation, I really think they're running this ball on 3rd and 3. And no, they're not. May is going to pass it, and we left our guy wide open. What a ballsy call from the Patriots. All right, well, we take the loss. Not ideal, but at least Nick had a nice statistical day. Came through with 3 interceptions. Really, this was a day where offense just didn't get the job done. And we got to play the dang 49ers again. I am so sick of playing these guys at this point. I don't know why, but every time they're on the schedule, I hate it. I do like getting some picks off of Brock Purdy though. This game has gotten pretty boring. 7-7 deep in the fourth quarter, we do get a big 3rd down stop. And offense with a clutch touchdown drive. Let's go. San Fran has no timeouts in 55 seconds. And we've got them to 3rd and 19, but they're going to slice us up over the middle, and suddenly they might kind of have a chance here. But they make just the most bizarre play call decision. Throwing it right over the middle, time's just going to expire. I don't know what Brock is doing there. And we get the dub, but an unfortunately quiet game for Nick. That's really going to hurt his chances at 40. Now we're playing the Dolphins, who I feel like Nick really hasn't seen a ton in his career, and they're threatening to score, but we lurk up the flats, and this one's going to go to the bank. It'll be a near 100-yard pick 6 for Nick, and he takes his time before getting into the end zone. I have a good feeling that we're going to have some kind of breakthrough in this game. The big lead is definitely going to help out with that. But we're sitting in the cover 2, and unfortunately, somehow it's looking like this is going to turn into a touchdown. Not sure what happened to our safety on the left side, but that's annoying. So sadly, we miss out on that golden time right before the half where they're just chucking the ball up. But Nick is going to force a fumble here. There we go. Love it when we find ways to make those sneaky plays. I do wish we could have picked that up. Could have basically ended the game. Instead, the Dolphins are still driving it. Hoping they decide to throw it down here in the red zone. And no, they're going to run it to the other side and we cannot contain him. I was hoping this game would turn into a blowout, but the Dolphins are giving us trouble. And now the Dolphins are going to have the chance to drive down and win this game, but for some reason they're running it. We're able to get them to third down. And they're in the money formation here. Can we find a way to turn this into a pick? They will motion a guy out, and Nick has perfect coverage. They go to the other side and we can't break it up. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. This is dangerous. All the Dolphins have to do is get into field goal range, and time's starting to run out. We need to hold strong on defense, and we're gonna have another huge third down. Nick is trying to bait up the out, didn't bait it up enough, but dude's gonna go down, and all of a sudden we can give the ball back to our offense. But bro, offense somehow threw a pick 6 or something, and the Dolphins are gonna win this game. That is actually brutal. What is up with those boys? Nick got a pick 6, but offense, unfortunately, with a net of 0 points, and sadly not the statistical game we wanted from Nick either. 8 games into the season though, Nick has 18 interceptions. He's really close to being on pace for 40. We are going to need a big game today against the Rams to stay on track. Nick has had breakout games against the Rams in the past, and looks like this might be another one. Our offense hasn't been doing anything, but Nick coming through with a clutch pick near the goal line and just barely going to get caught. If we had a slightly better angle, that could have been a pick 6. And offense goes ahead and comes through with a touchdown. We are in business with a chance to get another pick before half. And Nick's sitting in man coverage here on second down, gonna guard the hitch route. We didn't take a great angle, but able to get the breakup at least. And on 3rd and 4, we got the deep zone. Nick is going to bait up the curl. Oh man, dude looked like he wanted to throw that, but just chucks it out of bounds. Okay, pick there would have been great, but still a very nice defensive half. But this remains a close game in the 3rd quarter. We just haven't quite been able to pull away from these guys. We'll see if we can come up with another big goal line play, and trying to guard the back of the end zone here. That was a little bit scary. They just throw it out of bounds. And we're going to have a huge 3rd and 10. Kind of looking to bait something up here deep potentially. Looks like it's going to be a corner route though, and I wasn't ready for it to break like that. We give up the touchdown. Just bad defense from me. I should have gotten out of my strafe earlier. But offense coming through with a big touchdown. We've got to clutch up. Can't make any more mistakes, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams are able to kill like the entire clock on this drive. They have just been moving so slow and sustained. Apart from that one play, they've been playing pretty safe offense. And going with a little play action here, Nick is going to play perfect, covering everything he could possibly cover, but they've still got something open, and it's going to be 1st and goal again. Okay, let's see if we can make something happen here. Watching out for a quick out route, and that's just what we're going to get. I was expecting him to run it a little bit lower though, and Nick once again giving up a touchdown in his zone. And now the Rams are going to get the ball back with a chance to win the game, and Nick's going to get turned around, but a low ball is going to go right into his hands, and we have a chance to turn this into a game-winning pick 6. With 30 seconds left, Nick is just barely going to get caught from behind. I can't believe we didn't crib that. But offense is going to have a chance to just kick a game-winning field goal, but they cannot. So Nick's lack of speed there bites us. I'm a little bit nervous. We'll see what defense can do here. Nick is going to get into the backfield for a tackle for loss, and we'll be in man coverage on a 3rd and 11. Nick is on an island here on the outside, and his guy's just going to run a slant. They go to the other side, and we really can't break that up, huh? The Rams have got it right at the edge of field goal range here. This is a massive 3rd down, and they're going to go with a screen. Looks dangerous, but we're able to push dude out of bounds just short. And all of a sudden, we've got a 4th and 1 for the game. Nick is sitting in the flats, and we don't really have anything to guard. Quarterback is taking off, and Nick can't get to him. He's going to get into field goal range. I should have seen that coming. The Rams are going to keep on passing it though, going with a little play action. This is the same play we covered up perfect earlier, but this time our linebackers are going to help us out, and that is one of the clutchest plays of the season. And with just a minute left in overtime, this game could very well end up as a tie. Let's see what happens here. Offense can't get anything. The game ends 14-14, and Nick can't believe it. I really thought we had us a game-winning pick, dude. This was really an up and down game for Nick. We got to 20 interceptions on the season, so once again, just lagging slightly behind that 40 interception goal. Now we got the Packers, another team that's kind of been a cash cow for interceptions in the past. Let's get it, man. I will say the record's looking a little bit funky right now. We got to get those wins up, largely in part because I do think that win total affects your MVP standing. As Jordan Love already scrambling, that is not what we like to see, but we get the stop. But on the ensuing drive, they've got a 3rd and long, and you know what time it is. We are baiting up that deep ball and getting the pick. I'm a little bit bored of baiting up this same route over and over again, but to be honest, these teams just haven't really been calling other stuff we can bait up. Barely seen those corner or out routes at all this season. I've hardly seen any curls. So we're just taking what we can get here. And with just a few seconds left before halftime, we got a beautiful 10-0 lead, and we're gonna just keep on doing our thing, sitting in the cover 3. And it's working, man. Up to 22 interceptions on the season. We really haven't had to do a ton other than this. And boys, if you're having trouble catching interceptions on cornerback career mode, that strategy is not too hard to pull off. Streaks are so absurdly easy to bait up in this game. I'm looking forward to seeing how cornerback plays on the new college football and Madden games. For the 3-score lead, I'm feeling great. This is where things usually really start snowballing for other teams, but Jordan Love just has happy feet getting out of the pocket, and Nick is the last line of defense. He won't let us hit him though. Kind of a cowardly move in my opinion, but the Packers running a perfect play here. Oh man, please throw to the flats there. I need to get more consistent about baiting up the flats. The quarterbacks just always throw those at the least expected times, and going to it on the other side here, the Packers will finally get into the end zone. This game is like kind of not over though. We got a 9-point game with 2 minutes left, and Packers go into the end zone here. Nick is right there, but I played that kind of weird. I will actually take a swat in that situation, as nice as a pick would have been. But under the 2-minute warning, the Packers are in fact going to get into the end zone. They've only got 2 timeouts, so we should be okay. And we will pull out the dub, but honestly felt like it could have been a bigger game for Nick. Once again, 2 interceptions, just not quite cutting it at this point. Nick did go off against the Cardinals last year, so hopefully this will be another nice game. And early on in this game, we've got the Cardinals backed way up in their own territory. Nick's actually going to rush the passer here, and we almost get to him. Nick almost grabbed the ball too. But that'll give offense the chance to give us the lead. A lot of time off the clock already though. We got to find some ways to make some plays. We're going to try the flat route method here, and Nick is just barely gonna miss out on a pick on the curl route. I will say that Nick Jr. overall is a lot better than his dad. He's caught way more interceptions than the NFL, but one thing his dad was better at was making those acrobatic plays. Not to say that Nick doesn't have that in his arsenal, as Arizona really putting together a solid drive here, and this one's gonna go into the end zone. This game could get dangerous pretty quick, and we really can't afford to take a lot more losses, especially in games against these mediocre teams. Not a lot of opportunities presenting themselves at the moment. This has been a surprisingly run-heavy offense from the Cards. Seems like they learned their lesson a little bit after last year. They're just trying to run the ball down our throats. They haven't been like crazy successful, but with all the time they're burning, they are playing keep away from Nick in this offense. We truly cannot afford another 0-pick game here, and what's happening there? Okay, Nick's teammate's gonna get a pick. We'll take that. Need offense to go do something, boys. Unfortunately, they cannot. We still sit at 6-7, so now we're in a terrible position. Cardinals are just trying to run the clock out, and they're almost going to pick up the 3rd down. Nick knocks out the ball, but it's going to just bounce out of bounds. That sucks. And so we have a massive 3rd and 2. Kind of going to sell out for the run here, and can we stop them? We can. Okay, offense, you got 2.5 minutes and a timeout. You can do it. Just get a field goal. And they, in fact, get nothing and kill the entire clock. Come on. 0 picks for Nick. Insanely frustrating game from our offense. So after that loss, we're sitting at the number 4 seed in the playoffs. Honestly, not terrible. And okay, look at the MVP watch. We're at number 2 after Lamar Jackson, even after a 0-pick game. Come on, we can win it this season, I swear to God. And we have, of course, a stupid rain game, but we can make do. We're matched up against that tiny receiver that's been in the NFL for so long, and Nick will get his first of the day just a minute into the game. Trying to make up for lost time at this point. And I'm seeing an opportunity here. This is one of those teams that just has a brain dead quarterback that's going to chuck it up to Nick at every opportunity, and we are going to try to just farm him for stats as much as possible. And hey, offense actually coming through today, already more than doubling their total from last game. The Cowboys are finally threatening to score here and looking for that corner route. That is what we're going to get. We're a little bit behind it, but Nick making a great play to knock out the ball in the rain, and it looks like this is going to continue to be a blowout. So we retain our 3-score lead coming out in the second half and getting our money formation here. Let's go get that pick on the out route. Finally, they throw that route, and this is going to the bank. I was a little bit worried that Nick's momentum would carry him out of bounds in the rain, but his agility is just too good, and he is going to taunt his way into the end zone. This is definitely a good game to put us back on track track for our goals, and Nick is going to fly in and somehow get the hit on the running back. I didn't even have a good angle, I thought. And I'm surprised the Cowboys are just running the ball here. Was hoping that they just go full-on Chuck Hail Mary mode like some of these teams do. We'll see if they get there, but once again, just going with a draw play. Almost seems like they're trying to run the clock out just to spite Nick, but they'll pass it here. Nick's in man coverage and kind of got a weird angle, but this will actually work out perfect to bait up the route, and it's gonna be another pick six. That little guy's trying to hawk us down, but once again, we'll taunt our way into the end zone. Nick doing a little Marshawn Lynch fall backwards in there. And after our 6 points last week, it looks like this team has a little fire under them. And wow, based on that stat line, I'm surprised we're dominating when CeeDee Lamb's having a season like that. With 3 minutes left, this drive might be our last chance to get picked, and we will take number 5 on the day. Believe that puts us at 27 on the season. Please, offense, don't kill the clock here, boys. Let's go. They gave us some time to cook. And the Cowboys have got a 3rd and super long. We're sitting in man coverage and kind of a funky route here. Nick's going to end up breaking that up, and that's probably going to do it for this one. All right, so an excellent game despite the rain. We just dunk on the Cowboys, and this should hopefully put Nick atop the MVP watch. And yes, sir, all we've got to do is hold on for the rest of the season. Please, man. With just 5 games left, though, Nick sits at 27 interceptions. So we need to find a way to get 13 picks through 5 games. That is not going to be easy. We're going to need another huge game. We'll see what we can do against Washington. The one thing I'm scared of is that Daniels just loves to take off and scramble. They're already putting a nice drive together, and Nick sitting in man coverage is going to bait up the hitch and give me that. That's so satisfying, dude. I never pick those off. Unfortunately, we can't crib it, but still a great start to this game. I have a good feeling about this game. I like the Washington offense. They're going to run that skinny corner route, and Nick is on it. That was a nice route by the receiver, but we tracked it down, and we're almost able to get out of there for the pick 6 too. Things are looking up on this season. We're up to 29 interceptions. I would prefer if offense could cash in some more touchdowns though. The more of a lead we have, the more the interceptions tend to snowball, as Nick almost gets another one on a curl route there. We'll take deflections too. I think those are stats that help towards the MVP as well. The way the game tracks them is just so inconsistent though, and Washington hasn't really gone with a deep ball yet. I am sensing it here, and we're gonna go for it. 3 picks on the half. Let's go. That's 30 on the season, and suddenly 40 is looking well within reach. Let's see if we can keep it snowballing. This is kind of random and barely related, but does anyone remember way back when Peyton Manning was playing for the Colts? There was some season where he got injured, and I heard people on sports talk radio arguing that since the Colts were so bad without him, he should win MVP. Where is that energy for Nick, bro? Because if Nick was hurt, this team would be just in the dumps. I don't even know what they do. He's got 4 interceptions, and we're only up 7-0. Hopefully offense can extend the lead here, but no such luck. Somehow it's looking like this is going to turn out to be an incredibly close game. Washington is threatening to tie it here, and this time they're sticking to the run game. Nick is going to try to help out and sits down the running back for another forced fumble, but once again it bounces out of bounds. Nick has been on it with the forced fumbles lately though, one of the many underrated elements of his game, and we're going to have a massive 3rd and 3. Gotta watch for the out routes. We see a little bit of motion from Washington. Looks like we're going to have a corner route deep in the end zone, and man, I did not know where that ball was going. Was worried it was just going over Nick's head. So let's see what we get. 4th and 3. It looks like they're in a running formation, and just going to Nick's side, he is going to blow up the play and get a tackle for loss. This is MVP stuff right here, man. Nick is taking over. This is one of the hardest carries I've ever seen in a football game, but it's not over yet. Washington's going to get one more chance. And at this point, it feels like defense has been on the field so much. We're getting worn out, and it's showing. Washington's so close to putting it in the end zone, but Nick playing the cover 2 beautifully, and he's going to get the pick. That was a terrible throw, and this is going to go back to the bank for a game-winning pick. You got to be kidding me, boys. I think this might be it. This could be the best game of Nick's career. I know he's had games with more interceptions, but the way that he's taken over has just been astounding, and he's still got time to get another one. We're going to see that out route come out here, but oh, it just barely goes over our head. Mistimed it just a little bit. At this point, I'm 100% just baiting for the deep ball. They're going to run a weird route here, and somehow Nick is going to force a fumble on the sideline. He's just padding the stats with these fumbles out of bounds. Come on, Daniels, give me what I want. I'm baiting so hard, and Nick's going to make the over-the-shoulder catch for his 6th of the day. Something about that 7-6 loss to the Cardinals, it seems, just totally changed things for him. He has been dialed in ever since that. A truly beautiful performance. Nick looks as hyped up as I've seen him. absolutely balled out. He finishes with a tackle for loss, 6 interceptions, a deflection, and 2 forced fumbles, as well as a touchdown. And with 4 games left, he just needs 7 picks to establish himself as the true, uncontestable GOAT. And we're in the rain again. This is a huge one on the road against the Eagles. I can't say I'm happy to see the rain, but we had pretty good luck in it last time. And Nick is going to start off guarding the slot in 5 wide, and they're going to run this fade ball on him. No, sir. And honestly, 1 pick in the first quarter were really all I needed to see to know this is going to be a satisfying game. The 6-pick game took off a lot of pressure to put up the crazy stats. And we've already got a nice lead. For whatever reason, it seems like our offense is a little better in the rain, as Nick just barely missing out on another pick opportunity. We normally don't put up crazy numbers against the Eagles, but this might be the day. Hurts is no longer the formidable opponent he was at the start of this series. The man has got to be like 40 plus years old at this point, right? This defense has just been shut down across the board today, and we're getting our money formation here, seeing that out route, and Nick gets the pick, not quite able to get the feet in bounds. But this has been an excellent day. Offense has definitely slowed down, so once again, despite the great game from Nick, this is not really over at all. And here's the deciding moment in how the rest of this game is going to go. 3rd and 5 near the goal line, and there we go. Witherspoon's going to get the pick, and that should pretty much close this one up. I'm hoping offense leaves like a nice 50 seconds on the clock here though, and they actually end up killing the whole thing, but all good. Very satisfied with that performance from Nick, and we are so close. Just 4 more picks and 3 more games to do it. I would love if we could get them all against the 49ers though, and it looks like the 49ers aren't going to be shy about targeting Nick, going to him right out of the gate, and I don't know how I was supposed to guard that route with a guy blocking me. We'll see if we can use that aggressiveness to our advantage. We're trying to bait up the flats. They're going to go to a corner route, which I didn't see coming. And we've got a great opportunity here on 3rd and 17, but I was not expecting that shallow of a route. So not quite able to get to it. We'll still get the stop though. So 49ers will jump out to a 3-0 lead, and they're really going pass heavy so far. Nick playing beautiful man coverage is going to come off his man to make the hit. Can't let these boys take a 2-score lead, and Brock Purdy actually going to take off here. Nick is going to track him in the backfield and get the sack. Yes, sir. And we've got a 3rd and incredibly long here. Could be a chance at a pick, but our guy's just going to run a hitch, and Purdy takes the fade ball. Our dude is cooked, and we might be cooked in this game. And at this moment, whatever happens in this game happens, but I need a pick, man. We got to keep that security blanket. I really don't want to be under too much pressure in this last couple games, and we're having chances right now. I'm just not quite baiting these up right. Got to tighten up the user a little bit, and it feels like we need an interception here to stay in this game. I was hoping they'd dump it off to the running back, but dude just throws it out of bounds, and Niners will take a 16-0 lead. Offense just totally useless today. Our chances of winning are pretty much 0 at this point. Our only hope is that San Fran makes a stupid play call down near the goal line. Let's see what we get on 3rd and goal. I'm expecting that out route, and that is what we're gonna get. Nick will be on it. Come on, man. Can we take this back? Can we take this back? Get out of there, Nick. We gotta outrun Brock Purdy, and it looks like we will. So if we get the 2-point conversion, this could potentially turn into a game. Let's go. And on top of that, that's just a big moment for the stats. Now we only need 3 picks in the next 2 games. And offense has done nothing for us, but they did get the 2, so we got a shot here. It does seem like for some reason San Fran is still interested in passing the ball and trying to go with a deep shot here. Purdy takes a sack, and now things get really interesting. They're gonna have to throw for it on 3rd down, I think. And you know we've got to try to bait up the deep ball. Let's see if he throws it. Oh no, it's a comeback route. Nick guards it, but Purdy has a wide open scrambling lane on the other side, and that is probably going to do it for this one. Man, that is a disappointing way to end it. We are going to get him to 3rd down, but they're in field goal range. Our only shot is if for some reason they decide to pass the ball here, and that's actually what they're going to do, but it'll be complete, and now they can just kneel it out. So we take the loss, but a good game from Nick. Definitely some missed opportunities, but our offense did nothing. He had the only points of the game, and our quarterback 39 passing yards. Like, come on, dude. The NFC must be kind of weak though, because despite the loss, we're still hanging on to the number 3 playoff seed. And look at the season interception leaders, by the way. A little bit of a disparity between the guys. Let's go get it today. 3 picks off of Bryce Young, and we have 40 interceptions and a chance here on the first play. Give me that. That is so satisfying, bro. Love picking off those deep corner routes, and we are in pretty good position now. This has turned out to be kind of a weird half though. Our offense just threw a pick 6, and Carolina's got the ball back trying for a Hail Mary, and Nick actually got his hands in there, swats the ball ball far away from the receiver. I want 2 picks in this second half. Don't need anything more than that. And baiting up the deep ball here, we are going to get the second of hopefully 3 in this game. Nice little return option here too. We're not going to take it all the way, but should put offense in great position to take the lead. So thankfully, going down to the 2-minute warning, we're not in much danger of losing, and we'll hopefully get some opportunities here in this final stretch. Still got time with a minute left. We're in the flats, and looks like this is going to be a corner route. Wasn't prepared to guard that. I should have gone cover 3 there. And so it looks like we're going to leave this game without a pick. So it looks like we're going to leave this game with 39 picks. A nice dub, but all of a sudden the next game is looking pretty stressful. And with 1 game left in the regular season, Nick is still on top of this MVP watch. Let's go, man. I am not trying to get my heart broken in this last game. All we need is 1. Josh Allen has retired at this point. What if we got our pick right off the bat on the very first play of the game? It looks like it's possible. They're going with the deep ball, but oh no, man. I baited it up just a little bit too much, and that is not what we wanted to see at all. A perfect throw by the Bills quarterback. This has been as bad of a start to this game as it possibly could have been. We got to find a way to turn it around. We do have a 5 wide set here. I'm going to be very aggressive, and we are going to get pick number 40. I was a little bit nervous, but we do lock it down. That feels so good, man. Whether or not we win this game at this point, I don't really care. We're going to get a mid-tier playoff seed, but that should hopefully be enough to lock down the MVP. I would love to make the rest of this game a victory lap, but trailing by 8, the Bills are going to complete a huge 3rd down. I really thought he was going to go to the sideline and we were going to get a pick 6, but no such luck today. Looks like this one's over. So we take the loss, but Nick is triumphant in his quest for 40 interceptions. It was close. I mean, we got it right on the number, but that is beautiful to see, man. We've been chasing that for 9 years. That's crazy. I've never played a career mode anywhere close this long. So we have the 4 seed in the playoffs. In the first round, we're going to be taking on the Bears, and Nick heads into the playoffs as the number 1 ranked dude on the MVP watch. This can change. I think the voting's before the Super Bowl, so after the Super Bowl, if we get there, I'll show the results of this. We're going to have to keep balling out in the playoffs, taking on the Bears and Caleb Williams, and we have the worst record, so I don't know how we're playing this game at home, as Chicago's already driving it right down the field and trying to bait up that flat route. They've got the tight end wide open, so not a great start to this one. I have a feeling this is going to be a great game, and honestly, I'm here for it. The pressure's kind of off for Nick in the playoffs. With 3 rings under his belt already, another Super Bowl win would just be the cherry on top. But that doesn't mean Nick's not going to be fighting his hardest to get his team there, and he's going to have to make a play soon in this one. An 8-point deficit going into the second half is not ideal. If we don't shape up soon, we're on our way to a first round exit. Such an exit could seriously hurt Nick's MVP chances, but he's going to force a fumble here. Unfortunately, it's not picked up though. That's a pretty tough break. Could have been a big swing in this game, but we do get a nice sack on Caleb Williams. So now for a huge 3rd and 11. Nick is trying to bait the deep ball, and his guy's just going to run a post. We thankfully get the knockout over the middle. Come on, offense. Go do something for us. Sadly, they are radio silent in this one. We have to get very aggressive here. Nick needs to make a big play for us to win this game, and he's going to do it here, getting his first pick of the day. And come on, man. We got a shot to take this to the crib. We are going to be chased down by an offensive lineman. Can we swerve him out? No, we can't. Maybe I should have just kept that straight to the pylon. And bro, offense only gets a field goal out of that. Are you kidding me? Incredibly disappointing stuff from the fellas. It feels like we need another play now, and Nick trying to force another fumble. Maybe, just maybe, the Bears will still pass the ball here. Nope, they're just going to run it, and Nick keeping it to the outside once again lays down a big hit. How do we not get a fumble there? So here we go, 3rd and 6 potentially for the game. They're gonna run curls and go into the other side. That's gonna be just short. Are they gonna go for this? No. Okay, looks like they're gonna kick a field goal. All right, this is a damn long field goal. We need a miss here. From 59 yards, the Bears kicker is going to completely drill it. Are you kidding me? Come on, offense. Please, please. Oh, man. Our offense actually sold us so bad in the first round of the playoffs. If only I could have taken that pick to the crib. And sadly, that is going to do it for this one in what could potentially be the last game of Nick's career. And now it's kind of up to fate to determine whether he gets the MVP. It was a great game from Nick too. He truly did everything he could with a pick and a forced fumble. But thankfully we did indeed finally win the MVP, thank God. I could not have imagined how hard it would be to win this award. So there you have it, y'all. Let me know what you think. Be sure to drop a like and a comment. Let me know if you want to see some more episodes of Nick. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.